A couple of months ago, I created a video showing my review and my experience of Warrior Trading and the pro course that they offer. That generated a lot of questions and a lot of comments, and that's what we're going to go through and answer in this video, so stick around. Hey everybody, I'm Emily from the channel Mindfully Trading, and if you saw my previous video showing my review of Warrior Trading, you'll know that I was a student there for a year. If you haven't seen that video, I'll include a link above where you can catch that right now, but this video is going to break down a lot of the questions that were asked in that video. So a lot of you shared your thoughts and your comments about Warrior Trading, as well as Ross Cameron, the man himself, the wizard of small cap trading. And one of the main topics has been whether Warrior Trading and also whether Ross is a scam. So is Ross a fraud? Is Warrior Trading a scam? Let's break down some of the common questions that was asked in this video and let's explore them in more detail. But first, a quick disclaimer. This video shares my personal opinion and my views after studying for a year with Warrior Trading. And first of all, I'm not getting paid in any way by Warrior Trading for creating this video, nor am I affiliated with them or have anything to do with them. This video is just basically my own opinion and I'm just answering some questions that you guys have asked. So I hope you're going to enjoy it. So first of all, does Ross lead his followers into a trade only to sell to them? This is a massive question and there are a lot of theories surrounding this question, mainly being that Ross is a fraud, that he gets into a trade to lead his followers into a trade to then sell to them when he is at a high and makes money, leaving his followers stuck with a stock that is going down. I can understand the theory, but let's have a look a little bit deeper. Ross clearly shares to everybody in the chat room that he is merely demonstrating his strategy and his ability to trade. And he actually says to people that he doesn't want them to blindly follow him, that that's not the purpose and that's not his intent. His intent is just to teach by demonstration. I personally experienced Ross's live stream in the chat room when I was with Warrior Trading, and he clearly states to everybody that there is a 10 to 15 second delay from when he actually creates his live stream video to when we are receiving that stream in the chat room. So that means that if Ross says, I'm about to buy, I'm in here, that's actually 10 or 15 seconds behind when he has actually said that in real life. So it makes it very impossible for people to just follow him because everybody's going to be 10 or 15 seconds late if they decide to buy when they hear that Ross is buying. But he informs us about this. He informs us to try to prevent people from blindly following him and from obviously gaining a loss or getting into a position that's not the best entry. The point being, why would Ross inform people about this if he wanted to lead them into a trade to make money from them? It doesn't really make sense to me. In contrast, Ross actually encourages his students to work on making their own decisions trading, to not blindly follow him into a trade. Secondly, to debunk this myth further, most of the penny stocks and small caps that Ross trades have a low float. The float varies and they're not all the same, but generally Ross tends to trade stocks that have between 1 million to 20 million float. On the odd occasion, they might have a really low float of around 500,000, but most of the time they'll be between 1 million and 20 million. On the other hand, Ross's chat room members also vary, but they're usually between 1,000 to 2,000 members in the chat room. Now, I'm sure you can do the math there that that's not enough people to really influence the direction of the market. And also, as a side note, the majority of the members in Ross's chat room are students. They're learning and they're in the paper simulator or they're trading in the demo. And it's fake money. They haven't got the ability to affect the market because they're trading a demo version of the market. Also, Ross isn't the only person who's trading the strategy with penny stocks or small cap stocks. There are a lot of traders and aspiring traders all around the world who are trading a very similar strategy to Ross. They may be followers of other teachers such as Tim Sykes, but there'll be a lot of traders like him trading the markets and influencing the markets. So I think it's quite unfair to suggest that Ross is the man influencing the market because it's just not possible with the numbers that he has access to. Talking about Ross, let's have a little look more at Ross himself. Firstly, Ross is a highly skilled trader with 10 years of experience, probably more, under his belt, experience being the main point here. It can be very misleading, I think anyway, for beginners because they come in and they see Ross making thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars most of the time in minutes, And it can really give this idea of this get rich quick scheme. And most of the time, that's why he gets a lot of people enrolling onto his course. And that was my approach. I thought it was a quick way to make money, but that is the misleading point here. And I don't think that's quite a scam. I think it's just a miscommunication or a misconception of the course itself. Because Ross is demonstrating the long-term potential of his strategy. You see, if people who join warrior trading and learn Ross's strategy, if they dedicate years and years to study and experience and build those all-important skills in that strategy, Ross is demonstrating what that can bring in the future, a long-term potential to make hundreds of thousands of dollars, not an ability to make that in a matter of months, although that is always possible. I do find that this can be one of the main factors that causes people to think warrior trading is a scam, because they do expect quick results, but it's just not possible in trading if you want it to be a sustainable long-term approach to making money. Course fees are expensive. Now this is a major factor, and I think first of all we've just got to clarify that different people have different opinions of what expensive is. I mean, for me personally, I found it expensive. It's a lot of money and it takes a lot of earning to make those thousands of dollars that is what warrior trading course is worth. But every product has its value, and it's not for us to choose whether that is the correct price for that product. Also, I find it important to note that Ross doesn't actually guarantee that when you join his course that you will instantly be a profitable trader, because he can't. Trading isn't as black and white as that, and if it was as easy as that, everybody would be doing it, right? However, some students who do join warrior trading do turn over a profitability in a very incredible fast rate of time. I've seen some students who have been making thousands after a few months, but quite a lot of the time these students haven't come from an absolute nothing background in trading. They've been trading for years but been struggling, and warrior trading has just been the piece that fits the puzzle nicely for them and allows them to start making money trading. Whereas for me, when I joined warrior trading, I had absolutely no prior knowledge or experience of trading. So naturally, it's taken me a lot longer because I'm building those important foundational blocks in my knowledge and my skills to become a profitable trader. So what does warrior trading do? Well, warrior trading teaches skill, and it has a digital mentorship aspect to it. But the most important thing with successful trading is experience, and building experience is down to you. Unfortunately, there is no prediction on the amount of time it will take to be a successful trader, because it's very personal. It's very much down to each individual person who is on their own journey trading. Obviously, a lot of trading is down to emotional reactivity in response to money, and everybody's different emotionally when it comes to money. Some people are comfortable with a lot of risk and some people aren't. Some people can handle losing and some people can't. As trading relies a lot on trading psychology, and everybody is different when it comes to emotional reactivity with money. Let's dive on the computer and answer some of your questions. So, Warrior Trading Review 2020. Let's have a look at some of the questions and comments. As you can see, there are 717 comments, so I'm not going to go through every one, but I do want to thank you all for submitting them, and I do try my best to answer them as quickly as I can. But I'll just pick a few of the ones that stand out and just answer those with you now. And here we've got one from John W. I find it interesting, with all due respect to Ross, that they charge you an arm and a leg for the course and show you their technique that works for them with no guarantee of results, and then say tweak to fit or find your own style. Okay, so I paid $6 for a concept. Think about it. My issue is that there are 3,000 different ways to set up and trade stock. That's why it shouldn't cost one arm and a leg. If there's one way to build a superior rocket ship, then it's worth the cost because it's the one superior way of achieving it. If there are 3,000 different ways with varying results, then one way of doing it shouldn't cost the same. And I do agree with that, John. I do. I mean, I've said below, I do think it's a lot of money. But as I said before, I mean, at the end of the day, it's their product, and I guess they can choose what they charge for that product. You know, I think at least they should make it a lifetime access. And if they're listening to this, maybe that's a bit of feedback for them, that if you're going to charge people so much money for a course, at least make it available for them for life, because they've certainly paid for it. But they are saying that it's their strategy that they're doing, but there's certainly a lot of different ways of trading. There's a lot of different styles out there, and it's why I think before anybody would make a decision to join warrior trading, they should definitely do some research. And that's something I didn't do, and I wish I did do. because there's a lot of free information out there on YouTube for different trading styles and also for different markets, because you know there isn't just small caps, there's large caps, there's options, there's cryptos, there's Forex, which is what I'm now trading. So there's definitely a lot more options than just choosing the most expensive course out there. This is a great comment from Hot Masked One. Worry trading has turned me into a real wealthy man. Thank you, Ross. And that's really good to see, because there are people who benefit from this course. And when you actually do start making money, you can soon pay off those expensive course fees. So I guess it's just weighing it up. And this comment here by Gregory Caddock, I hope I'm saying that right, Gregory, but I think this is a really good comment, so I'll just share that with you as well. Warrior Trading has a lot of information to give. I think it offers more course classes and info than any other course out there. Is it expensive? Yes. Is it worth it? Yes. If you take advantage of all the material, and you could even if you won't use them right away. Also, Ross's strategy only works if you have the right setup, such as the fast broker, the multiple screens, the fast computer, and the no PDT rule. He is in and out stocks within seconds sometimes, and you need to be okay with the fast-paced environments, and that's a very important point. No offense, I don't think it's a good fit for people who are retired and further along in their life. Unless they're computer whiz, I also think that's a good point. It is one of the hardest strategies to learn and master, but if you have the mental ability, it can be done. Just know that it won't happen in the first week or month, so be okay with not getting your 3 to 5 grand back right away. A really good thing about Ross is that he's very transparent. He will show all his trades, good or bad, and his thoughts and processes when making them. He also talks about his continued mental trading struggles even as a pro and even after all of his success. I would recommend Ross, but don't be afraid to try some other less expensive course first just to get your feet wet. I don't really feel like I have anything else to add to that. I think that's a really good comment by Gregory. Question here by Boston Samus. Again, I hope I'm saying that right. Great video, Emily, thanks. Would you say after having gone through the course that you've developed an essential foundation and you wouldn't bother elsewhere? I'm considering it myself, very much appreciated. And in reply to that, I do feel like I've developed an essential foundation, but I have still found that there have been some missing pieces to that foundation, which in hindsight, after paying thousands of dollars for, you know, there shouldn't really be any missing pieces in that foundation. And for me, it's just things like I'm taking into my own study now, just researching things to do more in depth with price action and candlestick patterns. They do cover that in the course, but I don't find that they cover it in as much detail as they maybe could have done. And for me, price action, candlesticks and candlestick patterns are very transferable to different markets. So that's something I'm researching more on now that wasn't as advanced in warrior trading as I probably would have expected it to have been. And here there's a very good question from Life is Good, and I didn't actually answer you properly, so I'll just elaborate a little bit more on that now. But you said, what is the reason that Ross's strategy specifically, i.e. making thousands in a few seconds or minutes on small caps, didn't work for you? What didn't work about it, or what didn't you like about that particular strategy? Which is a great question. I'm thinking of doing another video a little bit more about that, but basically one of the previous comments actually brought this up, but the way that Ross trades, it's so fast. It really is a very, very fast strategy, and that is one of the reasons I didn't like it. I found it quite stressful, and there's a certain skill about it, but at the same time I felt like it doesn't draw upon the skill of technical analysis as much, and that's what I like to do. I like looking at price action, and I found that small caps relies more on very fast volume from a catalyst such as news, or simply from the 9:30 market open. Everybody's jumping on and everything's going a bit wild, and I find it quite an emotional way to trade, and it just doesn't really suit me. I prefer to analyze the charts, analyze the price action, and I just prefer a slower approach to trading. It's just my style. I also find that you do need a big account. Although Ross has done his challenge of taking $583 and turning it into $1 million, proving that you can make money with a small account, you can. But he's also done that with the amount of experience that he's got. I think for beginners, you need to have a bigger account if you want to manage your risk effectively. When I traded small caps, I basically followed Ross's style, and it doesn't really focus that much on risk. Since then, I've been learning more about risk, and I generally only risk about 1% per trade, which really helps to manage my account, which I think is the most important thing for beginners, is to not blow up your account and to break even until you actually start making some money. Whereas with Ross's approach, it was very much buy loads of shares and get in there, and it's a very quick way to either make a lot of money or lose a lot of money. And I think this is quite a poignant comment as well from Asad Saifi. If you have such a good course, then how come you're not making lots of money? And I've asked myself this question a lot as well, to be honest, because, you know, trading, it's an emotional journey. But I'm just going to kind of read my reply, really. And trading is difficult, you know. If trading was easy, everybody would be doing it. Why would you go to a 9-to-5 job making someone else rich if you can stay at home and make thousands trading? Except that it's difficult, and so many people give up because it is difficult. But if you persevere and if you carry on and build that experience and learn and dedicate, you can do it. And that's what I'm doing, and what I'm still doing, and what I imagine a lot of traders out there are doing, is working at it and working at it until they're profitable, consistently profitable. The Barrio trading course has taken me a certain percentage of the way towards being profitable. Of course it has, and it better have done it cost enough. But it teaches you a lot of the key concepts and foundations in trading. But there's only so much that you can learn about trading. The rest you've got to do yourself. You've got to build the skills and you've got to build the experience. And I feel that there's not really any course that can provide that. It's just something that's down to each individual person. And here's just another comment. It's just got some good points in here. Just sharing mixed feelings about Ross. I think he's a great teacher, a great trader, but his trading strategy is not for everybody, especially not for newbies with small accounts, which I do find that is true based on my experience when I started with a small account. Recently, Ross seems like he's trying to sell his course to these population too aggressively. You have a small account, you're new to stock trading, no worries, I will teach you. But seriously, momentum trading takes lots of practice and guts. Many professional traders are aware of the strategy and don't follow it for a reason. I worry that inexperienced traders will get into this and end up losing money. Small accounts means moving your money to an offshore account to avoid the PD2 rule, which it does, and watching your money quickly eaten away by commission fees when you get in and out of a trade, which is definitely true. That's exactly what I found, and one of the reasons I stepped away from small caps. I think that if you've got a bigger account, Ross's strategy is probably better for you, but if you've got a small account, you may struggle. But that's just my personal opinion. Also, Ross teaches people not to look at Twitter's bragging about their crazy winnings because it causes FOMO, but he's the one uploading video after video showing how much he made, which is a good point. I guess he's marketing his course at the end of the day. And just quickly sharing the comment here from TFG Film and Tape. Appreciate the time taken to create this heartfelt video. Appreciate your comment back. A few insights. So firstly, important to remember, Ross has been trading for many years. He's not a novice, and most people who take his course are novices. It will likely take them many years to get to his skill level. The old 10,000 hours rule here applies, as with any endeavor. That's very true. The question is, will you have the capital to go the distance, or will you, as most 90% plus day traders, lose everything that you started off with? Ross can make 50,000 from 500 because he uses margin, which is another point. Again, he has a skill level to do it, and more often than not with some success. As a novice, you run the risk of not only losing your own money, but also that of the firm that you are getting the margin loan from. This can be many times your original investment, which you have to come up with to pay back. It's why it's important to manage risk. It's good to choose perhaps a lower risk if you have to do margin. Now, I'm going to wrap it up in a moment because, you know, I'd love to share a lot of these comments. I love hearing from you guys, but there's so many, and I think this video is already getting quite long. But there's one more comment that I do want to read to you because it did make me giggle. I thought it was a great comment. So I'll just try and find that now. Here we go. Okay, so a comment from Sean Mocrian. Hope I've said that right, Sean. Excellent review. Thanks for your time. Ross is simply superhuman. He has excellent skills and he's very fast, and the course is very good and informative, but I do believe for many reasons very few people can copy him because his technique is fabulous and super fast, and it works for Ross for sure, but getting money from micro pullback and making decisions in a matter of a few seconds, It's not very easy even for professional traders. I think everyone should be open-minded and learn and study about all solid available strategies and then try to modify them for themselves. I think that's a really great comment and some really great points there, Sean. So what is the conclusion here? Basically, my opinion is to master the strategy by building experience. I don't think it's fair to just accuse the teacher of being a scammer just because you've not dedicated enough time to actually master the strategies and skills that are involved in becoming a trader. Trading really does take time. It is a marathon, it's not a sprint. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you've got any questions or comments, leave them below. And don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so that you can catch further videos. Thanks guys. Bye.